I won't.
I doubt that.
Not me.
Welcome to the world of Hearth Rock. I'm your host, storyteller, and dungeon master, Bilbo. Tonight we can continue our series, Tales from the Yawning Portal. This is our 13th episode of the Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan. Lucky number 13. Someone has to die tonight.
Not happening to
The
join.
plan is to play the same characters through each of the adventures in the Yawning Portal and level up characters accordingly and finish with the Tomb of Horrors. Our players have completed the Sunless Citadel and the Forge of Fury, and depending on how Goofball over there is acting, maybe we might only have one more episode of the Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan, depending on how far they get tonight. We will see. Or worst case, 2 more episodes. So, come join us as we travel through these old school dungeon crawls. And have we decided who's going to do a recap of last... Okay, well, you're good. I hear you. Welcome back. Who would like to do a recap of last week's episode for an inspiration die or a luck card from Nord Games? I'll take this.
I think I'm on it.
And Cat is gaming. That is true.
Are you good, Kat?
Yeah, carrots. Sorry.
That I
So
love.
this week started off, we had just opened a door, and a strange aberration had emerged. Lots of mouths and arms. Turns out it's a gibbering mouther, although I don't think any of us know that as characters. And I think Dar ended up taking the brunt of everything that happened in that fight, and I believe he actually finished it off as well. So it was a Dar-centric fight. He did great. I don't know if there's anything else that happened there. Kit did some healing. Nice job, Kit. Yeah. Did I miss anything else?
On the section of wall to go investigate.
Who did?
I do, apparently.
You were hanging out with Bailey.
That's it.
Yeah.
Talking philosophy.
That's right. Erebus did search the room and we found 3 things there, and then we were still in this diorama room with a big hill. A little bit unclear where to go, so we decided to climb up the hill because there was a huge tube or some sort of tunnel at the top, and so we Erebus climbed to the top after making a save, and then climbed up, and then waited for some people to come up. Kit, I think, was the next person that followed. Kit, is that right?
Yep.
And unfortunately, I think you made it to the top, or did you get pushed down right away?
I made it to the top, and then I went tumbling over the direction of the hill.
To the other side, and into
It
the
was
water,
nothing.
and then it's all black. That's where your life
No.
really, right?
Apparently, yes.
Yes, it was a river
I don't
of
know
sorts.
where.
You came out of the river an entirely new dragonborn.
I have none of my spells.
That's right, and she has lost all of her spells. She's lost her connection to whatever god she worships. That's right.
Except for my ability to shapeshift.
Right. Built through your bone, and you can still have some ability. That's right. So, Kit climbed up the tunnel with me and with Erebus, and together we encountered. She turned into a spider, which was a good choice, and we encountered another spider, and between the 2 of us, we took care of it pretty quickly. Torin did make it up at the end, just in time to shoot the ceiling, I believe. And then we kept exploring further, and we realized that it came to a room, and so we asked everyone to come back up. And there was a lot of trouble climbing the hill because there's some wind that pushes you back. But after some careful planning, I think everybody made it up using ropes and assistance. And I think Torin helped people climb up. Is that right? And we made it to a small room at the top. And in that room, there was a couple of fountains, one of which had some water in it and what appeared to be a dead fish. And through some amazing amount of self-control, we didn't touch the fish until the next
Until
morning.
we slept.
The great thing about this, it's a crop face, thank you. What's great about this room is that the silent hill effect was not happening, so we could sleep comfortably and without any ill effect. which we did. We took a long rest there. In the morning, we woke up and Erebus moved the crawfish, which turned out to be a trap of some sort inside of I don't even know, was it water weird?
Yeah, water weird. Yes.
It's the water monster.
Yeah, cool water monster. There was like 6 of us around it, so I don't think it didn't last long.
No.
And then we opened the door, and we're about to find out what's beyond the door.
That is correct. All right. So do you want a inspiration die or a luck card?
I have all my cards I can. I'll take a die, please.
All right. So go ahead and mark that down. You have an extra inspiration die, and you may come to use it, or maybe giving it to somebody else to use it to save his life tonight. We'll see.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right. So let me go ahead and describe the door. Erebus opened it up right behind Azazriel. The rest of the gang's kind of in the room. In the middle of this chamber, what appears to be a withered, preserved form of a centaur mounted on a slab of marble. Tinted green and decked out in lacquered leather, feathers, and copper wire jewelry, and he faces the western entrance to this chamber. The centaur holds a bronze haft-pike tip with a broad blue flame-shaped spearhead. Scattered around the room are jewelry and knickknacks made of beaten copper, cut and polished obsidian, shells, quartz, and coral. Much of the treasure is at the feet of the centaur, symbolically being trowed underfoot. There are 2 tall urns shaped like wicker baskets stand along the north wall, each one of them filled with river stones.
We take everything.
What do you do?
Everything. Yeah.
Are
Let's
we
go.
coming from the western entrance?
No. So you're coming from the eastern entrance. We'll go ahead and show that up here. Come back just about a little right there. Perfect. All right.
He's looking away from us.
Yeah, he is looking away from you, looking at the western door across the room.
Okay. And we know that the room curves around to the side.
Yeah, I would say if you kind of poke your head in.
All right, well, I'll
we will
examine
see
the floor
that.
in the area right directly in front of us, make sure it's safe, and then I will proceed in.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right, off to a good start. That's 27.
All right, so you are highly confident. There are no traps along the floor here, and also you don't notice any sort of secret doors along the walls, at least in this section. So
Okay.
maybe around the corner, but at least
Right.
in this
So-
section we don't see anything.
Okay, so I'm going to go in and curve to the right, to the place where it at least looks like it opens up somewhat.
Okay.
Make sure nothing's hiding there, so you can move me in and 2 squares over, I guess.
All right, go ahead.
And then we'll see if
Zazie, are you moving at all?
I'll go and do.
Are we missing the Erebus figure?
No.
That's the L figure. So the Erebus figure is somewhere.
I've just adapted to being you sometimes.
Let me grab because he was Erebus was with the other group when we were doing the play test.
Oh
So
yeah,
he's
true.
just with that group. Hold on one sec. I got him.
Is this why you don't use the same figures for multiple campaigns?
Well, no, Erebus actually is playing Erebus in a play test that we did for Cobalt Press for their Creature Codex. So if you're watching this, go check that out and support Cobalt Press at the
Don't
same
touch
time.
anything.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
All right. So I have
That's good money.
we have Erebus in. We have Zazriel kind of break left and right. Torn has moved up with Dar right behind him in tow, and so on. The group is kind of moving up. All right. So.
Anything around to the right?
Yep. So around to the right, it just once again, it just more of this scattered, makeshift junk jewelry is kind of laid all about the floor and such. There's a lot of it, like hundreds of pieces of this junk jewelry just strewn, just around the floor here. And then I said there's on the northern wall, which is next to you or across from you, Erebus, are these two urns here that have these rocks in them. Wicker baskets,
without
really.
picking anything up, but just eyeballing the stuff on the ground, none of it looks particularly valuable.
Go ahead and give me what is it? I'm trying to remember the skill for
I have
this.
no idea, to be honest.
Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. 16.
Yeah, so you probably think if you gathered it all together, you might be able to fetch something, but most of it looks just like junk jewelry. I mean, you guys would be in here a long time collecting it all, and maybe that all might be worth a total of maybe 100 or a couple hundred gold. You're not sure, but it looks pretty junky.
I glance over at Torrin. Is he furiously picking up every sparkling thing he sees?
Not yet. He's just looking in the door, I guess, right
I'm trying
now.
to call my body and put him in the
Alright, I will, I'll curve around and explore that area that I haven't looked at, checking for secret doors and anything on the floor, I guess.
Okay, go ahead and make that roll.
Alright, and that's another 27.
Wow. So, yep. Once again, no traps, and you are confident. Once again, there are no secret doors whatsoever in this room.
Alright, I guess I'll move to the, okay. And there's only one exit.
Yes. Yep. Exit
I guess I'll move to
opposite.
I guess I'll move to that door and, well, let me look. That's right in front of the guy, right?
Yes. Yep. He is 5 feet away from that door entrance.
Alright, so I'll move near that door. I don't want to stand right in front of him, though. I at least want to check the ground, make sure it's safe to be in that space.
Okay.
And see if anything's going to happen there, and then check the door itself.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll.
Alright, that is cocked. Unfortunate. Alright, so that's at 18.
Okay. So yeah, once again, you don't see any sorts of traps or anything, any pressure plates, nothing like that. You are pretty sure that this door is not locked or trapped as well, and the door opens inward towards you.
Okay. Alright, so I'll back up and use the mage hand. And
Or actually, I'm sorry, the door actually opens towards the opposite direction. It opens towards Zazriel, the opposite way. So the handle's on your side. You'd have to fling it open to open the door.
Okay.
You
It's
kinda
still
get
open,
what I
and
mean.
it just opens so I would see what's on the other side.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'll open it using mage hand. I'll stay 5 feet away and just peek through. Just crack it open a little bit.
Okay, so you crack it open, and there is this jade wall that is in front of this door here.
What?
So there's, yes, I'll describe the jade wall here. Here's a wall of green polished stone. It blocks your way. And you're just looking at it. You think it's probably about 7 feet tall and 7 feet wide.
Okay. That's floor to ceiling. There's no gap.
Nope, there's no gap. Or barely a gap. There's a little bit, but we're talking like a foot.
Oh, so Jock could look through.
Yeah, Jock could possibly squeeze
Got it
through.
figured out. We have to mount the centaur. Right through the gin.
And you're 6, that's real. I'm a cowboy.
I'm not asking down to go through. I just keep thinking in the back of my head.
Yes.
So I'll look at the wall closely and see if there's any squares that look like they should be push plates or.
Okay, yeah, give me another perception check on that.
All right, that's a natural 20.
Okay, so yeah, perfect. Natural 20, way to go. You are highly confident that it possibly could be moved with some strength. However, if it's altered in any other way, if they're not successful on like lifting this stuff up, it's more than likely gonna crash and break all over the place and maybe hurt somebody pretty bad.
Okay.
So centaur. Sounds great.
All right, so I'll go back. I'll tap Torn on the shoulder and try to move back to the hallway to talk to people.
Okay.
And I'll say everything seems safe. The wall is very heavy, and it appears safe from traps. But I think you're gonna have to push it.
What about the centaur?
Oh, you think well, just so you know, you think they could actually somebody could possibly lift it and move it out of the way.
Not push it. They have to lift it.
No, you think if they push it, it's probably gonna break. You think it's some sort of trap. However, you think you can disarm the trap by somebody lifting it up.
Oh, I see. Okay, all right. So I will convey that. It's sort of a trap, but I think you can disable by lifting. So I'm looking at Torn and Dar, but you have to lift it perfectly together.
Why is this horseman in here?
Oh, and you're kind of confident, to be honest, only one person can do this. They have to basically have their hands, and it would have to be Torn. Because, sorry, Dar, you're short. It would have to be Dar with his wingspan of the arms are torn to lift it up off of whatever it's this kind of holder that it's on, and then move it. So.
Have you
Okay, I
checked
got
out?
it. So I'm not looking at you, Dar. I'm looking right over you. And Torn, it's all on you.
So, what about the centaur? Have you looked at that?
When I'm breaking it with a pickaxe.
Did I look at the centaur closely, Bill, or no?
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, once again, you don't think anything is trapped around it. You think it's a petrified centaur. I mean, it's definitely old.
I'm checking for valuables in a minute.
I can show you guys. If you guys want to see a picture of it, I can show you a picture of it.
Petrified?
Yes, petrified.
I disbelieve.
Is he wearing a loincloth?
That's what it looks like. No, it's all hanging out.
No wonder Sassriel wanted to mount him.
That's what she meant.
Hey, look at that headdress. Cool. Right? And that spear.
It's the headdress.
I'll whisper to you,
Yes, it's petrified
I want the
like
headdress.
feathers.
It looks
Thinking that too, I'm kind of worried that this thing being petrified might be an effect we are, not wanting to have.
Okay, so we'll stay back in this other room.
Petrified because something made it petrified, or what?
This looks like a tribute room to me.
All right, everybody get to the
Is there a
side.
look of terror on this centaur's face? Good question.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So if you go back and look at it, go around Erebus and look at its face. It does not look like it's scared. It looks more like it would scare somebody else.
Okay, everybody back while I move the door. Just in
Give it
case
the
it goes
fire.
wrong.
Torn, go do a small prayer to Tribella.
Anybody go around the corner and check the back area back there?
Yep.
Yeah, that's not.
Okay.
Okay, I'll get guidance from Drybella, I guess.
Hey, Thorn?
Yeah?
No, not Thorn.
Oh.
Thorn, maybe you should inspire our young for our old friend here. Better greatness that you can lift this thing. Shining and swearing in your repertoire.
That's better luck to all half-lords, especially you. That's what I say.
All right, so I guess I'm a D6. Is that correct, or a D4?
D4.
All right, so you have a D4 with your roll. If you want to
Hey,
use
oh
it.
yeah, I'd love to tell him. Now, Erebus.
Now I don't know if those two will stack.
Thanks.
Star. I'm L.
I'm sorry, my internet keeps going down on my computer.
Typically, they will on different courses.
I'm so,
So you guys are now on my phone.
okay.
Okay, no worries.
No worries.
You're on there twice, but you'll fall off in a minute.
So,
I know how to play this music now.
Well, there are different things. Like one of them's more mental.
And the
like,
centaur has a spear.
Yes, this big spear. I'll describe that again here. So the centaur holds a bronze hafted pipe tipped with a broad blue-gray flame-shaped spearhead.
Centaur love this. Wait, have you done this?
I'm gonna use mage hand and see if it wiggles at all.
No, it doesn't. He has a firm grip on it.
But it's not petrified anyway. It looks like it's normal composition.
That is correct.
Okay. Alright, I'll move back and let the big guy do his thing.
Wait, do I get inspiration from the dark?
Huh?
Thorn.
How many dark?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wonder, can those both stack?
they should.
Okay.
I think yes as well.
Okay,
Okay,
so
we'll do that.
what's the dice from inspiration from dark?
Torn, you are a 55-gallon drum of awesome. You are fired now. It's a D6.
Okay, D6.
All right.
Yes.
Now, like I said, you don't have to use them.
He's a buttload of
They just go away though quickly.
I'll use them. I'll use them.
Okay.
Done what?
It's firing like that. I wanted a song. A song. Oh.
Starting to get demanding, aren't they?
Okay, so this is strength.
Yes.
I maxed out on four-sider. That's good.
Yes.
So it's athletics. So.
Oh, athletics.
Yeah.
So 25 total.
All right. So you pick up the glass or this jade wall. All right. What do you do with it?
I'm gonna step it to the left side and.
And just go forward, step in.
Uh-huh.
All right. Sure enough. So as you step forward, there's a Medusa down the hallway. This mummified centaur comes alive and tries to stab Torn as he's stepping out of the room.
I knew this was magical. I knew it.
I still think you should not drop the wall though, right?
Yeah, you have the wall when he's doing you've taken a step literally out towards into this other small chamber here. And as you do though, he tries to hit you with the spear. He misses. Because what's your armor class?
I have a.
Don't have your shield.
Okay, don't have my shield, so then that would be an 18.
Oh, he hits you.
Yeah, I don't have a shield.
Yeah, that'll do it. So he hits you in the back with this.
I try. Why
uh,
have you done this?
and
Does he become unpetrified when this happens? Does he become unpetrified?
well, he's like a mummy. You're still petrified.
No, he's petrified still.
Yes, he's still petrified.
You have to stop mixing up things.
I'm not mixing anything.
Yes, no, you said you were still petrified.
You're not petrified. I did not say you're still petrified.
Yes, you did.
No, I did.
Go back in the recording and you'll hear.
I will tomorrow. And what happens if I'm right?
If you're right, I.
All right, no problem.
You're fine.
You're fine.
I won't play on the tablet for the rest of the
My
day.
phone was still connected to the Wi-Fi.
The day.
Okay.
It's
All
connected to the
right.
computer off.
So you take 9 points as he shoves this into your back, Torn. And let's roll initiative, everyone.
20. Who's that? You
Let's go, John. We gotta compete here. You probably got me.
Nope.
yeah,
Add your decks.
Exactly. Carry on as usual. Just go slow.
All right.
I'll blame them on the amnesia.
That's right.
Forgot how to play.
Zazriel, what are you?
20.
20. Anybody else higher than 20?
L is a 21.
Wow, L's 21.
Nice.
All right, 16 to 20. No one? No one 16 to 20? 11 to 15.
12.
All right, 12 for Dar. 6 to 10.
I'm a 10.
All right, here this is.
Yay!
All right. Thorn, what are you?
I am a total of 5.
Thorn.
5.
Not Torn.
Oh.
Come up with a nickname now.
Thorn
Something
is
like
a Torn is a.
What is Kit?
I rolled a critical 1, but I get a +2 for my initiative, so I'm at 33.
All
I'm
right.
down last.
All right.
Woo!
How about boring?
That's what I said. Boring.
All right.
Lucky, I rolled a 1.
It's okay. It doesn't really mean anything here.
Right, that's one of the few times I wanted to see.
Yeah,
Boy,
my heart
You fail that initiative.
Unless you want to act first. Uh,
Torn's new name is Borden.
L is up first.
L is up. L is going to. My understanding is we actually did a long rest
Yes.
last time I played, so okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, going to her friends try to get into the room. You know how that works. Do that. C5.
So he put you at the edge of the corner there, so you're in the room that's 30 feet, right?
Okay. And then I will. Let's see. So Torn is trying to balance that thing, getting stabbed in the back. Yeah, I'm gonna blast him.
Okay.
And we'll see how it works. I'm gonna use a guiding bolt.
All right.
See what happens. Okay. We'll run a roll. What? I got it. Come on. That's going to be. Those are AC 15.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, good. 13 points of damage.
All right. Nice. All right.
Advantage to whoever attacks it next.
Okay, perfect. And that is you doing anything else, or you done?
You're truly Zaz.
She's going to do as a bonus, she's going to cast Shield of Faith.
Okay, perfect. All right, Zazriel, you are up. Your first attack is at advantage.
Hitting it twice.
All right.
It's a 19 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
For 6 points.
All right.
And that's a 14
All right, that hits.
for 7 points of damage.
All right, got it.
Bang, chop it off.
All right, that's Zazriel. Dar, you are up.
Alright, Darcy says grabs first. grabs Gladys by with both hands, yelling the name of Celia. And he runs into the room and ranges and attacks that way.
Okay.
Reckless attacks.
Alright.
First attack. Here's a 19 on the dice.
That'll hit.
Hit. That is 12. That is 7 plus 6, so 13 points for that one.
Alright.
And that one's going to be 18 total.
That'll hit.
Oh, okay. And that one's going to be for 5, 6, 11 points of damage.
Nice.
Whacking it on the hindquarters.
Alright, yeah, so like pieces of leathery flesh kind of falls off of it as you hit it in its back. Looks back at you glaringly. Erebus, you are up.
Alright, so I will move in next to Dar, pull out my second short sword,
Okay.
and I will attack twice.
Alright, go ahead.
Alright.
Billy, can you move Erebus right next to Dar?
Oh, I see. Not quite that low though. AC 13.
13 just hits.
Oh, it does. Wow. Alright, that's cool.
It's the mummy, guys. It's the mummy. Not great armor class.
Okay, so wow, that's great. 6. Alright, that's 11 points on the first one.
Alright.
And then I'll swing second short sword. Alright, that hits no problem, but only 3 points.
Alright.
Pathetic. And then I'll use cunning action to withdraw. You can back me off 3 to the left, maybe.
Okay. Staying in the room, but going to the left or going back down the hall or going next to...
Yeah, you can put me anywhere. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
So, well, are you staying in the room or are you going back down the stairs?
That's a good question. Alright, I'll go down the stairs.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
When the DM asks you twice, you go down the stairs.
I know.
Alright, Thorn is up.
I will. I want to get into, I see him way in the back there. Let me get up a little closer. And I want to get within dagger tossing range.
You're there.
Oh. Better watch out for that 1 die 4. Actually, can I reach, without provoking, can I get over to, Torn? Because he's hurt, isn't he?
No, you can't.
Well, then I will stick to the plan, and I will throw. You're halfway there?
Yeah, you can get it.
I'll get in the room out of spear range.
You can throw it and then move up there.
Okay. Sounds good.
I was going to use a bump if he hasn't rolled yet.
Alright, she's giving you a bump, so you have +1.
Oh, I'll accept it. 14. Oh, wait, no, this be 17 with the dagger. Whoop.
That hits.
That's what I'm talking about.
Boom.
For 5 points of damage.
Dagger strikes again.
Alright, so 5 points. Nice.
His name should be that.
With my crossbow, with my hand crossbow, I can flick at him.
Alright.
And that is that would be 15.
That hits too.
Wow! And a hand crossbow does even more damage. That is 6.
Yes.
That's
Alright. So his hind quarter is just messed up. There's just all this just part of what a leathery this just falls off of his back as you guys are just lighting up his hind legs. Alright. And then Kit, make sure you take off the bump. And Torn, you are up now.
Okay, so is it a free action to step back in and put it down?
What?
No, it's not a free action. No.
It's an action.
If I see you step
Yes.
back, follow through with your plan.
It's
Leave
an
this guy
action,
alone.
so you can either action to put it back in place, or you can move it and move it against the wall as an action.
What's the main?
It's not a free. If a free action, you're dropping it.
What was your mission?
So you hold it and put it in front of him as a shield?
No.
Okay, so I guess I'll move it against the wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as my and my maneuver object, I'll pull out my axe.
Okay.
And I'll
Move back into the room.
I'll be sitting right here,
Okay. Perfect.
flanking it. Now I won't be able to destroy this.
And now we're all on fire.
All right. Kit, you are up.
That'd be great.
Do I even know what is going on?
Of course you do. Yeah. You know.
You don't know why it's going
You know
on.
there's a fight going on. You see it up the stairs.
I'm just in the corner, like, what is going on?
You're at the bottom of the stairs. So
Who am I? Why am I here?
yeah, that
I know
part.
who I am, I know who you guys are.
Yes.
How are you guys killing a statue?
Once again, you just are still baffled why you're here.
Come on, Kitty, kill the subject thing with us.
Okay, I go. So I ready to get my spear, and I just go up the stairs and see if I can get an attack on it.
Yep, you can go and thrust into its back hind.
Someone has a visitor. $13 to hit.
13 hits.
Hey. Damage.
All right.
Magical spear.
Once again, you guys are just ripping into its back hind. All right, and now.
Waiting for the other hook to fall.
Yep, the other hook's about to fall. As he kind of turns around to face all of you. And he just glares, first he just glares around the room at each and every one of you.
I'm looking at the skies.
Alright, sure you are. And
I'll stare right back at him.
I need all of you.
We're at disadvantage then.
I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm basically at disadvantage already, so it doesn't matter. Actually, no, I'm pretty good.
Yep, wisdom saving throw.
Boom.
Ouch.
Alright, so, Torn, what do you got?
A 15 total, actually.
Alright, what do you have, Zazriel?
19.
Alright, L.
Hold on just a second.
Does he see me down the stairs, Bill, and still makes eye contact?
Yeah.
I made a really good roll.
It's on a roll. The 13, Bobo.
Alright, Erebus.
Unlucky 13.
I'm gonna use a card. I'm gonna use one of my deeds here.
Alright.
I don't know if it's even gonna keep me anywhere, but we'll see.
Lucky girl.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you can do it. I already rolled, but
Yeah, you already rolled. You gotta do the bump beforehand.
16 though.
Alright, there you go. Kit.
I got a 16 on the die plus 5 is my wisdom, so I got a 21.
Oh yeah, you're not fearful at all. Dar
Good roll.
14.
and Thorn.
I am neither healthy nor am I wise, but fortunately, I rolled a 19 on the die, baby.
All right. So none of you are at all afraid of this thing, as you guys have been beating on its back. No one is afraid.
This
However,
trying to scare me, my eyes go pitch black.
now he comes down with his spear.
Any?
No, actually on Kit.
Hey, you should
Comes
come
down,
at me. Come at me. Come at me.
Bill,
What?
Wait,
would he know that he has advantage on his attacks against me because I'm being reckless?
No.
Okay.
He isn't smart. He's a son.
why me?
Well, mommy actually.
And your armor class is not that good. Not that good.
Neither is Dar.
Neither is Dog. I would hit you there. So he hits you with his pike here. And you are going to take 11 points of damage, Kit.
Yay.
And then he takes his hoofs. And that is going to actually go on Dar.
There you go. Come on, you overgrown goat.
And that hits.
Why don't you go for me? Because I want to hit him with our
That damage.
Yep, I know from part of it. And
Everything except psychic. The
yeah.
only thing I don't get half damage from is psychic because of the bear totem.
What about necrotic?
He's so happy.
Okay, thanks. All right.
Okay, now he gets pissed.
Ooh, show us what that looks like.
Just wants to kill this thing now.
You want us to clear the room for you, Brian?
The rest of us wanted to keep petting it.
All right, so Dar, you're going to take 11 points of damage. That's already halved. And now I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Constitution. It's not poison, right?
Nope.
That's minus 11. Sorry. Cock die. Alright, so let's see. 15 on the die plus. What's me? Con is plus. Oh, saving throw plus 7. So 22.
Okay. All right, so you are good to go there. However, when he hits you, as he stomps on your foot with that hoof, you feel a little bit more pain as well. And you are going to take another 6 points of damage. So I have a minus 17.
Okay.
What am I at?
Minus 11. All right, it is a new round. Al, you are up.
Alright. Ready? Something we don't like do here. Do I have any sense that this beast is getting shredded? Is it actually seeming to be affected?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's falling apart. Its hindquarter is just shredded. Yeah.
So it's not holding up.
No, it's not holding up well at all.
Okay. She'll step in and stab it.
Okay.
Wow.
You want to put L in?
Only a 12.
12 is gonna miss. Well, you gotta hit it, but you just don't get through its petrified skin.
Yep. Alright.
Elle has stabbing ability?
Yep. That's a short throw.
All right.
Surprising when she whips it out, I know.
All right. Are you doing anything else?
Move her over towards the other door.
Okay, just move her another. Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, Zazriel, you are up.
Really?
Twice. It's going to be 23. I mean,
20.
not 23, 13. But
13 just hits. It's a big difference between the 13 and the 23.
well, it looks like there's a 1 there, so I said 7 points of damage.
7, okay. Second shot.
That's the 23 I was talking about, and that's for 11 points of damage.
Alright. Got it. Alright. And then
You can take an attack opportunity if you want.
oh yes, definitely. So I'll try to spear you as you were leaving the room.
I interest.
And it hits you.
Try to interest. Oh my god! No!
You're gonna take 14 points as he hits you in the back of your left leg.
Oh, I go down.
15.
14.
9. Oh, 14.
Alright, Dar, you are up.
Alright, let's go. Dar's gonna grab a hold of Gladys again, and this time we're gonna take a couple pieces out of the front flanks.
Alright.
Reckless attack again. And that is a 19 of the die
That is.
for 16 points of damage.
Okay.
And then the second swing is an actual 20.
Woo!
Oh,
It's over. Unless.
And a 12. So it's the floater.
No.
And a 9. So 12 and 9 is 21 plus 6. We don't double the other stuff.
you
No.
roll a
no.
second die though, so that you should be rolling 3 if you hit a max.
Huh?
Like, so it's double dice, and you rolled a max, you should have rolled 3 dice total.
Oh, you're right. 27. Okay, so 20. That's right. I didn't roll that other one. So we're at 7 plus 7 is 4 points of damage.
Nice. Alright, Dar, how do you finish this?
I like you, Grandpa, with your weak hit points on these creatures.
Dar says,
sorry.
screw that. He tumbles in underneath its legs, swinging Gladys all the way around and just takes it out of all 4 kneecaps in a big swing all the way around.
Alright.
And then tries to dive out, but not quite in time, and the whole body just falls on top of it.
Alright. No, just kind of just breaks into pieces as you do that, as it hits the ground. Just the rest of it just falls out, and its innards, the old, just all this.
Never seen dwarf on horse action before.
Dust appears. All right,
And never want to again.
all right, very nice there, Dar. Perfect. All right, so what do you guys do?
30.
Wander.
I'll move into the room and examine where he was standing underneath him and whatever he had on him.
Yeah, so even the jewelry that he's wearing is just junk. The same stuff that seems to be that's on the floor here. As in a sense for the spear, you're not sure how much you can get, but you think you might be able to get something for it. So.
Does it look like something a kid or somebody could use?
Does it look like an artifact?
If Kid can use a spike,
We can
I
sell it.
think I
We
can.
can sell it as an artifact, guys. We're gonna make money off of it. Don't worry.
Well, I'm going to hand it to Dar.
Same thing.
If it's the same thing as spear, I'm pretty sure I can use it.
I have no idea what a
I
pike is.
think a pike is it a spear bill or is it a pole arm?
and it's more of a pole arm. It's bigger than a normal spear here.
Alright. But has it got reach on it?
No, it doesn't.
Oh man, it's considered a heavy weapon.
You're gonna hand it to me?
He killed her.
If it's considered a heavy weapon, I'll take
Oh,
it.
I was thinking that if somebody else can use it that doesn't have a good weapon, I got Gladys right
Oh,
here. So
just hold on to it. We'll
I
sell
have
it.
multiple good
Is
weapons.
it a heavy weapon though, Grandpa?
you said you hold on to it, Sass?
Yep, we'll sell it.
Like, Grandpa, is it a
I'll
heavy
hold on
weapon?
to it since I have a spear.
Well, but it's not a spear, it's a pole arm.
I'm going to
Yeah.
move to the J wall and see if it's
I
adequately
don't know,
designed.
buddy. I think figure it out on a player's handbook. Look at a pipe.
What do you mean?
Can we get the
You want to use a pipe now?
I think my skate bucket's buried in something, otherwise I'd look it up.
How's the rest of this altar look, Bill?
Player's handbook, please. There's nothing else on. It's the slab, the stone slab he's on. There's nothing
It
there.
doesn't look like it will move or anything like that. Like
No, Erebus was confident of that before.
I will point to the urns and say there could be something at the bottom of those.
Of course,
Well, if you're throwing out heals, sir, I'd love to take one.
Yeah, I'll take the pike.
Alright, Bill, I'll go start emptying one of the urns while they are healing each other.
Alright, so what you'll find. Alright, so what you're gonna find is you'll find 2 crushed silver masks, and they're worth 25 gold pieces each.
Okay.
You're also gonna find an Electrum Serpent bracelet.
Ooh.
And that is worth 50 gold pieces. You also find a broken marble statue of a monkey. However, you think even though it's broken, you still
We can
think you
sell
can fetch 50 gold pieces for it.
Trust me.
Okay, of course.
And then you find 4 silver hairpins with jade, and they're worth 5 gold pieces each.
Oh man, I'm gonna look fabulous.
And if you sell them to the right lady.
So that's 170 gold pieces worth of stuff.
Alright, so he'll present that to Zaz and Al.
I say to Dar, I'll take the pike.
Oh, thank you.
I already gave it to Sass. You'll have to talk to Sass about it. That's right, you did lose one, didn't you?
What?
So, Al or Zaz, write that stuff down. I'll check.
You lost a pike.
You also.
I lost a halberd, but the pike's basically the same thing, except it's just a spear. Basically, it's a pull-on.
I'm gonna look while they're debating their weapons. I'm gonna look at the jade wall and make sure it's safe to move through now.
Yes. You
Well, I
did.
hope
Let me,
so, because I'm in the middle of it.
Ooh, my
Yes,
pike
it's
switch.
in your room.
Anybody want me? Give me you.
I thought it was resolved.
I think everybody said they want to be healed. So
You can touch me with your hands, Thorn.
Suggestive.
That's funny.
Come on, tell us how you do it.
Oh, heal? I got a soft you.
I prefer my butt cheeks.
Only got the dog with the bat. Don't want to touch me.
okay. All right. So yeah. So before we move on, so Thorn, are you healing anybody?
I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna give heal to the Zaz and
got it.
Kiriara.
Okay.
What?
And so,
Good.
so I sing. I'm just inspired to sing a song to him. It's like, when you get this feeling, I give you magical healing.
I just did that.
So Zaz gets 8.
8 back to
Whoa.
Zaz. All right.
Kid gets 11.
Ooh, kids all better. All right.
By the way, Bill,
Yes.
Darth reached into his bag and grabbed an old towel and started dabbing at the wounds to get the blood soaked up on him.
Can you lay your hands on me better next time?
Dar's chomped on pretty good, or no?
Yeah. Dar's pretty. He's hurt.
Bind him up with a bandage.
Okay.
So that is what level is Dar again? What is it? 5th, I think. Let me look. 5th. Okay. 12 points.
12 back. All right. And that's,
Nice. Thank you.
and that's a healing kit.
And
Okay.
she'll check on Torn.
You do.
All right. Yeah, he's hurt a little bit.
Wipe yourself, dude. Go.
Not as bad.
That's
Not hurt too bad.
Sorry, I'm the 2 teenagers over here.
He just grabbed his pants. Everybody, sorry. That wasn't a chair squeaking.
All right. So not Dar. Sorry. Torn. Yeah, he's still hurt. He's hurt a little bit, but not.
And Zaz is not hurt bad now, or she
Not
is?
bad at all.
Not bad. Okay, so nobody's looking rough.
Not probably healing kit worthy yet.
Torn just needs a leaf.
So I think doing the one on Dar was the good one to use right now.
That's good. All right. Making the rounds. Doctor making the rounds, you know.
Perfect. All right. So now let me rethink and regroup. All right. So, I'm gonna say something, but now I completely lost track. Hey, are you done? Sorry. Apparently they're in one of those moods today. All right. So we have the hall.
Yeah, put me in the lead. Let me get out ahead of Zaz there. Start checking as I go.
Yeah, so just give me one just general perception check here.
Alright, it's a 23.
Alright, perfect. So yeah, there's no traps or anything. The hallway, as you see, is kind of 5 feet, so
Me. I'll watch your rear.
kind of describe here what you're seeing. You might not want to get as close, guys. You guys are all moving in compact. And that's normally not like how Erebus travels. So
How come dog is sick?
Yeah, I back this up a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'll keep them back as far as they'll let me. But
yeah, maybe around the corner.
I
Yeah,
really
they are.
they're
Huh?
huge, so.
They are.
Dar and you.
I'm not going behind the corner.
And I don't want to.
Alright, does Dar go around the corner? Or does Dar stay right on Zazriel's butt?
Dar's gonna, he'll go sit down at the corner, make sure nobody else goes any farther forward.
Alright,
until we
so
get
move
going.
Dar back.
And it's pitch black, right?
Yes, it is.
Thank God.
Yes, it is dark. Yeah. Kit, how are you going to be seen? Vision-wise. She stepped away. Okay.
He stepped away, yeah.
Right now, Thorn's got her by the hand or something. So.
Perfect.
Alright. Now, this 5-foot diameter passage is dry and dusty, and it shows no signs haven't been used for ages. Near the top of the corridor walls, about 3 feet from the ceiling, stone lintels run through the length of the passage. The corridor abruptly widens to a 15-foot cube, 15 feet on the side, with a corrugated floor. In the ceiling of this area, a bronze circular trapdoor is set. The cover is latched shut. In the 4 corners of this foyer are sets of metal rungs forming a ladder that leads up and across to this arched ceiling to the trapdoor. The rungs are broken in several places, leaving rusty spikes. On the other side of this area, the corridor continues. So this is the ceiling's about 15 feet up, and there's a trap door in the center of this where there's like spikes and rungs that kind of make their way up to this trap door in the ceiling.
And what did you say is going on the floor? It's corrugated?
Yeah, so like almost in a sense like holes are in the floor. And then along the walls here, it's also in a sense like there's just kind of a small slit along the walls as you guys are going through here as well.
Alright. Does it smell weird at all?
It's just smells of dust and it's dry. So there is really no smell other than you probably maybe get a little dust, if you try to sniff it in. But it looks like no one has been in here for a long, long time.
Alright, well I think this is perfect for my mage hand. So I'm gonna try to use mage hand on the trap door.
Okay.
I'm gonna back up just a little bit. I'm a little worried that this is like an acid trap or something's gonna come pouring through.
Sure. All right. I will. You'll send the mage hand up. We don't need to move anything back. and it just doesn't seem strong enough to open up the hatch.
It doesn't seem to be locked, though. I don't need to undo a lock.
No, it doesn't seem like it's locked. It just needs to be turned. The hatch needs to be turned and just opened up.
That's not good. I'm going to check for traps on the floor, then. I mean, everywhere, really. But
All right, go ahead and give me a roll here.
all right, let me see what I can figure out here. All right, that's good. 27.
All right, so there's no traps on the floor. These holes in the floor are deep. You can't even see, even with your dark vision. They seem to go past your dark vision. But you're confident there's no traps in this room. Other than, and you're confident even looking up the hatch. You don't think the hatch is actually trapped. However, you do notice 2 secret doors on the what wall here? Sorry, they are on the east wall of this chamber. So both of them are on opposite sides on this east wall. So to your right, in the sense of Erebus, yeah. And they're separated about 5 feet or so. And you said 27. So let me just see here. So what you think here too is on this lintel or the molding, you have to actually kind of push and pull down, and that will swing the secret door inward.
Okay. All right. But I think if I could manage to climb, or someone could, that the ladder assembly is not trapped or anything.
That's correct. Yeah.
I'm gonna climb up there if I can, and I'm gonna just tap on that thing and see if I think there's anything behind it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. I don't know if you want an athletics or anything. 24 on the perception.
Yeah. So no, you don't hear anything. You tap on it. You think it almost sounds like hollow.
Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna get washed away with a ton of liquid if I open it.
No, you do not think that.
Okay. All right, I'll go and do what you said in terms of adjusting the lintels to make that thing fall down.
Okay.
And do I think I can do that with Mage Hand? Doesn't need a lot of force.
Okay, so there's 2 different. So you're up. The secret doors are 2 different. I'm thinking you climbed up to the hatch, right?
Yeah, I did. I'm gonna climb back down.
Oh, climb back down. Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Back to the home.
No, you also think pushing. You actually have to physically. It has to be some strength behind it. The Mage Hand's not strong enough to push these doors in. They're stone doors. You have to push in, but you do have to grab up at about 8 feet up to push it. It's almost like, in a sense, you're pushing down a door, like a ramp. Okay. If you can picture that. So you have to actually push down on the stone floor, and it would be a ramp going into it. So it's definitely
For either secret door or for both?
Both. Both are identical. Neither of them seem to be trapped. They just seem that either one you have to push it down to walk down. Hey, pay attention and play the game, buddy.
Okay. All right, I will call the eager one up, Torin.
Okay. What?
Found a secret door. You want to go down it? Pick one, left or right?
Right.
All right. Put him at the right one. I'll point to the thing he needs to pull on. Can he reach it, or does he have to climb?
With him, because he could actually reach up and push down on it.
All right. I'll show him how to do it, and then I'll back out and say, all right, I think it's safe. Go ahead.
All right.
Michael Jordan.
I know you're bored, Torin. I'm here for you, man.
No, I do not like the color.
I'll let you take every risk you want for me.
I do not like the color. I do not like the dandies.
Wow, look at those nice maps. Where'd we get those?
Why don't you tell us there?
These maps were generously donated by Mike Schley.
No, what's the right?
His web address is right on the screen there. Please, everyone, check him out. He was very generous, and the maps are high quality.
Yes, this one's very cool. So you push down, step in. I'll describe here what you see there, Torn.
See your
I'm going to slide the camera forward.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Billy, can you push and bring the camera up?
You see your Albert sitting there waiting for you to grab.
Perfect.
I grabbed him.
All right.
Whoa, there's a figure there. You're screwed, Torn.
Yep.
So, although you don't see that yet, the walls of this chamber. Hey,
I'm just trying to amp him up.
well, let me describe the room and say you over there
He
amping
doesn't.
him
He's
up.
gonna throw it out of his mind anyways. He's already made up his decision.
The walls of this chamber are painted flat black, while the floor is inlaid with colorful mosaic of strange gods coverting and leaping around a sun. An alcove in the center of the eastern wall is masked by a curtain of shell and beads. And that's what you see.
Yoink.
All right, so you go in the room. All right.
Ooh, there's a person.
All right, so anybody else?
Yeah, if I see him start to disappear that far, I'm going to follow and try to.
I closed the door.
Okay.
So yeah, so let me check that room. And he's going to just keep moving, whatever, but I'm going to look in this room, make sure I think it's safe.
All right, yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception.
Alright, cool. Alright, that is another 27 on fire.
All right, yeah. So you're looking around on the floor and the walls. You think everything is safe. Is everybody else kind of moving up a little bit?
Leroy
Dar?
Jenkins.
Do you start letting everybody move up?
Yeah. When I hear that, I'll move everybody forward.
Okay. All right. All right, Torn. What do you do?
Do I see the person?
No, it's behind us. There's a bead. There's what it is over there. It's a curtain of shells and beads.
Through the middle? Well,
That's where that curtain is, over there.
right here?
No,
Oh, right here.
right there.
Oh, they don't
I will message him, wait.
Okay, he's telling you wait. He's stepping on
Here,
the sun gods. You just see him just trotsing in.
Actually, not. I won't go in the place, but I'll go right here. Pull out my pike and pull through the curtains.
All right, so you move the beads and the shells. All right.
But I'm still kind of taking a couple.
Behind the curtain is a chalky form of a statue seated on a stone throw with its surface carved to depict feathers. The statue is wearing a feathered headdress and a feathered robe. Lying across its lap in its open palms is a scepter of gold and silver with an eagle's head crafted on one end and the talons of a bird holding a blazing sun on the other. This is the most remarkable thing as you've seen. And then you look at the statue and the face is yours.
You're gonna kill
And
yourself.
I'll show you a picture of this here.
Wait, it's my face?
It's your face.
Wait, I can't see.
I'll show you in a second, buddy. Let me show them. Be patient.
Well, that's not scary. Shit.
Wait. Doppelganger.
So that's what it looks like,
Except with Torrance face.
except with Torn's face on it.
Right now, when I see it.
Ew.
Yes, when he sees it. you see your
old
face.
torn face or like baby face torn?
His current face.
Okay,
Old torn face.
I close the curtains and I'm back.
That's your only chance to get up by yourself.
Dude, it's
You've always been
myself.
wanting to
You've
finish. You've always been wanting to finish.
Dude, I finished people up before, but I'm not messing with this thing. I'm
Because
just
it looks
gonna.
like you, and it's so ugly that it scares you away.
Alright.
That just sucks off.
Alright, enough.
You can finally look in a mirror.
Alright, so what do you do, Erebus? What do? You see Torn take his pike, look behind this curtain, and then come running back into the corner. You're on mute. You're on mute, Erebus.
Sorry, I don't know how that happened. I will raise my hands as if to say, what's up.
It's talking to you.
Oh, I'm gonna use my face on this weird person.
I don't speak half word. What?
There's a weird face on the person. Behind the curtain.
There's a creature in there?
I'm not sure it's a creature. It had my face, so I'm kind of scared.
The creature had your face?
Yep.
Alright, so you can go talk to Elle. Go get examined.
Yeah, it's about that time. As you say that, the secret door that you guys are at shuts,
I'm in.
closes up.
I told you, man, it's your chance to get a solo.
There's you three are in.
Oh.
Oh, the one behind
The
us. Oh, the one towards you guys.
The one, so you see,
Not
so
the
Dar,
one
you're
in front of
standing
us.
there, and the door that where Zazriel and Erebus are standing there watching and talking to Torn, closes, comes up and shuts, closes the door.
I think that's Tor's reaction. He's like, ah!
Do I have any understanding of what happened? Is it magic or?
You didn't see it.
Make a perception check. Looking at it in this
Really
way.
scream at a Tor?
23.
No.
Yeah, you think it must be on some sort of timer. Now you think you could probably just go ahead and open it up again, but you think it's on some sort of timer.
Alright, so I'm not super freaked out just yet.
No, not you. Torn is. Torn's sweating.
Torn's pissing in the corner. Right
Yeah,
now.
he seems to be sweating and all sorts of really just nervous with himself, fidgeting.
So did you like roll a save for your own self?
Nope.
I'm going to,
ask you to roll a save.
I'm going to do a check on the floor outside in that other room and see if I can circle around to the other side safely.
Okay, yeah, you can. I'm gonna go over your old rolls, your current rolls and stuff. Yeah, so
Okay.
you can move around and, yeah, you seem that everything in the room seems safe.
Is Zaz here too?
Yeah, it's the three of you are in
Okay.
here.
I stand on the face of the sun god.
So, Dar, what do you do on your side?
Bloody hell, this is why I didn't want to stay back. Now I don't know how to open the door. Dar's gonna go forward, and he's going to. Is it a stone door?
It's a stone. Oh, it's a wall, and yeah, because you're a dwarf. The problem is you have to be taller to push it in. And
This is not a dungeon for short people.
so you need.
But I figure out how to push it, right?
Yeah, you can definitely figure out how to push it in, and it pushes forward as you go in. But you definitely need to have some height to be able to do
Hey,
it.
Thorn! What? Thorn? Yes, what can I do for you? You're a little taller than I. Can you reach that and push me for me, please? I'm not that much taller than you. Let's see.
How tall are you, Thorn?
I'm 5'6".
Okay, you're tall enough. You're tall enough to if you stretch out your arms
I've
and
never been called that, really.
That's because I'm taller than you, Josh.
This is true. This is true.
So yeah, you're tall enough to, if you wanted to push it down, you could.
Yeah,
I shall.
Okay.
I'm gonna push the hell out
so
of
in
it.
this room, I'm about to kill
Alright,
Zazriel.
one second. When this guy's
With my
done
10th screen.
peeing himself in the corner,
I come out.
I will go look at the statue.
All right. So
So is it like on a sliding curtain? Can I slide it all open?
Yeah, well, you can open it.
slide the
Beads?
the
Like,
beads.
do they come back? Like, or
No,
just
it's
hold them?
more of no. It's there. It's like you have to kind of
Okay,
push.
can I yank some of them down then?
Yeah, you can pull down.
Alright, I'm gonna pull down like 3 of them.
All right, so put you guys over there. So Thorn, you go ahead and push down the stone block, and yeah, if you want, you can step in.
Yes, Argo's running through.
All right, Dargo's running through. All right,
Anybody else coming?
all right. What is Elle and Kit doing?
I'm just gonna wait here in case the door shuts again.
All right, so you're gonna stay
And
out.
then I can just shift and push it
And-
open again.
And Elle, what are you doing?
I'll head right in.
Okay, alright, so everybody's in except for Kit. Alright, so Zazriel, you go down over there and rip down a few of the strands of beads and shells.
Can I
Okay.
see his ugly face?
Yes, so you see this statue with the face of Torn. And like I said, the statue though is holding this rod.
Okay, I'll take the rod.
All right.
You're not near it.
Yeah, he
You're
is.
all in the corner.
No, he came back. All right. So you grab
It's always short-lived.
you grab this rod. All right.
Only one is the real Torn.
You never grab another man's rod. Have you not read that yet?
Without permission.
All right. And you flash, and you're in a battle. You're in this huge battle scene here, and there is this big, giant spider coming your way that is just furs coming down its side. This nasty spider off in this battle scene that you're in. Off to the side, you see this large woman, half woman, half like octopus. Her lower half's like an octopus, and you see her fighting these two blue-skinned humanoids, and also there is this one-eyed, just large creature, black skin, is also fighting this octopus woman, and then you see off to the side this huge blubbering white. It almost looks like a whale, and it's just moving its body just like a sloth, moving across the field. I need you to roll initiative. Just you.
Land wheel.
Okay, let's go. Started off with 20 total.
All right, so this wolf-like spider is moving towards you. If you like, you can attack it.
Okay. Pulls out his shield. I mean, no, does he have his stuff out?
You had your axe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, he'll attack it then.
All right.
Okay, will 20 hit?
Yes, 20 is gonna hit.
So 10 points of damage.
All right, so 10 points. All right.
Second attack is 10 gonna hit.
10 does not hit. No, just moves out of its way.
I guess I'm in the fight alone, so I'm going to action surge against this thing.
All right.
because I'm fighting it alone. Oh, a 10 again. Oh, natural 20.
Ooh, alright.
And I'm gonna distract this one too. I'm gonna use a
You
distracting.
can. You have to do it before.
Nope. There's no thing of against using it before. You can use it after you hit.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So
Yeah, because then it would be a waste of it.
So that's 4. And then I need one more, which is skull. And then I need one more. I need 2 more. So I need 2 more D8s. Because I'm a savage attack. So 1 and then 2. And because of my distracting. And an exploder.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
So 11,
sweet.
18, and 19. 27. 39 points of damage.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh.
Alright. It just shrieks back a little bit, and now launches at you. What's your armor class?
21.
Alright. Oh, it fumbles, so it rolls.
And as it rolls, I use my repulse to just swing at it.
Alright.
So big.
You can't use it.
Yeah, I can. It's a reaction.
Your other one's a reaction as well.
No, it isn't.
Look up the rules, buddy.
Wait, what the?
Good question, buddy.
Alright, we'll look that up quickly, please. You should have that on your character sheet of whether it's reactions or not, okay?
Yeah, because repulse, when missed, reaction to melee attack. Distracting strike. When you hit a creature, do a 1d8. And so it's not gonna be
Alright, so we're gonna let that go. Go ahead, buddy.
Ooh, that's gonna hit for sure. With a 24.
Alright.
And then almost maxed out damage. So 19 points.
Alright. Nice. Alright, so the next round, this queen, this octopus queen, like she takes her tentacle and tries to wrap around you. However, she misses. You're up.
Okay, so now I'm fighting the queen and the spider, or is the spider dead?
No, the spider's not dead, but it goes after you do. She's gone before you. You're up.
Okay, so the queen's by me.
The spider's prone.
Spider's prone? Okay, then I'll attack the spider for
Alright.
Ooh, thank goodness I had advantage. So is a 20 total gonna hit?
Yes.
For 8 points of damage?
Alright.
Remember, he's prone, you have advantage. If he
I know,
misses.
I rolled that.
Yeah, he got that.
And
Thanks.
then second attack, I'll go on the queen.
Okay.
That's gonna hit with a 24
Yep.
for 6 points of damage.
Okay. Alright. She just looks at you. Looks at you. So, and then now the spider gets back on up and tries to get after you and misses again.
I'll go at it again.
Alright, so alright, go ahead.
20 total is gonna hit
Yep.
for 15 more points.
Alright. Alright. So the rest of you guys, or so Zazriel, I would say this, because you see him gripping this scepter here. You see like he's almost in a trance, but you see like sweat kind of just dripping down his face a little bit.
Alright, can I kick his arm off of the pole?
Yeah, you can try.
Hit a 21 AC with non-arm strike.
23.
Alright, so he's still gonna hold this Yeah, so he still has it. You strike it up. The pole, his arm goes up with the pole.
So the bone comes off?
Yes. Like, so it comes out of the statue's hands. But he's got a grip on it, a death grip on the scepter itself.
Alright, let's go have fun.
Alright. Now, next round. The queen, once again, takes a swing at you, and this time she hits you. And
it's bad now because I'm still -9.
you're going to take 11 points of damage.
-20.
And I need you to make either athletics or acrobatics check as she's wrapping you with the tentacles.
Natural 20 on athletics.
Alright, nice.
He's just whirling around and just can't get a grip. Like,
Alright, you are up.
okay, I'll go at the queen.
Okay?
And 21's gonna hit
Yes, it does.
for 7 points.
Alright, so 7 points. 1 second, buddy. 1 second. Sorry.
This is hard. Just
Alright, so 7 points.
Yep.
Alright,
second attack's gonna go on the queen again.
alright.
I miss with a 9.
Okay, alright, yeah, that definitely misses there. Alright, and then, now you see these, I'm going to show you guys a picture.
You know I touched the rod, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see 2 of these come approaching the battle here.
Are they on?
I just want to show everybody on the audience.
Or they seem to be attacking the queen or me.
You're not sure as they come up quickly. However, they both strike down with their whips at the queen.
Yes. Yes.
And one hits, one misses,
Okay, I'll take the one hit. Like,
and she belts out a roar. And then the spider tries to jump you again. And that's going to hit. I need you to now... you take another 10 points.
ooh. I'm hurt.
And I need you to go ahead and make another escape. Either athletics or acrobatics, whichever is great.
An 18 total.
Alright, so you're free. The spider does not grip you.
Wow.
Alright.
Excellent.
A queen. Aw, it would be cool if other people were here. Basically, I'm gonna start role playing my ancestor protector, which I'm gonna go for.
Alright.
Can we see anything else from where we are?
So the rest of you see, you just seen Zazriel, like, push up Torn's arm, and you see him with holding this scepter, in his hand, just gripped. And I mean, it looked like Zazriel hit him super hard, but he has a death grip on this
and
this
he's just
pole
shaking
arm.
hard, like he's like,
Is he alright?
Zaz.
Touch the pole?
Yeah, so you You touched it?
I'll tell you, I touched it when I kicked it up.
Yeah, nothing happened to you.
No, I grabbed it.
Oh, you're now trying.
When he didn't let go, I grabbed it.
Now this round, okay, so you're trying to grab it out of him?
No, I'm trying to just touch it. Just go.
Oh, you just grab it? Okay. So you grab it. However, nothing happens.
Then I'll try to rip it out.
And you see just more sweat. He's still in a daze. But you just see more and more sweat just coming down Torn's face. Also, make a perception check.
This is not blood?
No, it's not blood. It's sweat.
23.
All right. You notice the statue itself is forming. You see from the head where it was Torn's head. Now, like his shoulders and his arms are forming into look like Torn's body.
Can I make a perception to see any of this too?
You would have to come over to see that part. You would have to actually come over and move the beads around. You took some beads around, and you can see You can see the sweat kind of coming off of Dar. But yeah, if you look behind, if you move, like use your sword, if you use your sword to move, yeah, too many one-syllable names here.
Yeah.
So if you move your sword past like the beaded wall of beads and shells, you can see, yeah, this statue ahead of Torn, and now his shoulders and arms seem to be forming into Torn.
We need our spellcasters and clerics up here.
All right.
Let me know when I can act again, though.
Yep. You are up again.
First we'll do the 2 swings, of course. Queen. Miss with another 9. And then a hit with a 17.
17 does not hit her.
And then I'll use my second wind.
All right.
Maxed out for 15 back.
Nice. All right.
Wow.
This is an intense fight, guys. I ain't messing around. Kind of.
All right.
Doing great, man.
She now attacks you.
Oh.
Misses.
Okay, I'm reposting this.
I think this is your last one, right?
Yep, I know.
3.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, I knew.
Yes, 4.
Yeah, 4.
All right.
I know.
Okay. Well, say something. All right. The wolf spider jumps on you, and I need you once again. You take 9 more points,
Oh, no.
and then I need you to go ahead and make an athletics escape check here.
Now I'm starting to miss my attacks. It's too bad. Will an 11 make it?
An 11 does not. The spider, this wolf spider, now has you in its grips. So let's go back outside Zazriel.
Should I cut his hand off?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Knock over.
Yeah, I cut his hand off.
Smash the damn statue.
All right, so you're gonna cut off his hand.
Go right at the
Don't
wrist.
cut off my hand!
I cut his hand off.
Destroy the statue!
All right, go ahead. Give me a roll. You're at advantage here.
No.
22
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Yeah, just by 1. It's way too
for
much.
9
Your
points of
shield's not
damage.
gonna matter here. What?
9 points.
All right, so 9 points. All right, so you hack into that. All right.
And,
That's
22,
my plan as well.
22 again for 9
Are you
points.
guys trying to cut his hand off?
Yes.
We just swung twice. Yeah.
Alright, I'll be right there. I got the big blade. I can whack it off.
All
We're
right.
still open, right?
For right now, yes. All right,
Can I
Erebus.
just,
Go
I
ahead.
missed that. I could just whack this
Take
finger.
that with mine and try to finish the job. That's the deal.
So, Kid, are you gonna step in too?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
just gonna say screw it.
Oh my
Let's see what I'm trying to.
What the hell's going on?
Yeah. It's all I hear is clang, clang,
Alright.
clang. It's like,
Oh, wow, table.
Brent, move up and help.
Alright, is AC 18?
Yeah, that's gonna hit him.
Alright, but 1, 1, 1, 2. So that's 5. It's 10 points only.
All right.
But I will. I have a second swing. So
Go ahead.
The
So
second
hit
swing.
points are 43, right?
It's AC. So wait, sorry. AC 18 for 4 points.
No. Watching all of us just whack away at this. You guys are terrible people.
All right.
What did I come back to?
Knock him down or something first?
So, back to you now. You see this blue creature with the whip strikes down on this this octopus woman and queen, this purplish queen thing here. What looks like what's her name from Disney.
Ursula.
Ursula, thank you. Strikes down on him, and she has this rod, and all of a sudden you see light, and this rod just breaks open into 7 pieces, and blood just comes oozing from her, and you pass out. And Torn hits the ground on this side, missing his hand. And the stone statue is now become Torn.
I'm Torn? I'm that statue?
Yes.
Oh, what's up, guys?
Does that come out of his mouth?
Question: why his hands are bleeding?
Does that come out of his mouth?
Yeah, that comes out of his mouth.
I'm Torn. Don't hurt me.
Can he move? Try and move.
I'm trying to take a step.
Yeah, so it takes a little bit, but you can kind of step up a little. Your bones are a little bit stiff, but yeah, you can step up.
But first question: do I look younger?
No,
You're a
You
stone
look-
door.
you look exactly the same,
How does it feel to be a stone door?
except you're in this weird attire. Like all your stuff is on, and you see your kind of passed out self down on the ground. However, you guys notice that his hand's gone, but the blood stops oozing. Like so,
So
your
the blood's gone. The hand's gone from him, the body, his original body. But it's
Yes.
not gone from the statue.
No. He has his both hands. He's not a statue. He's flesh. He's flesh, not a statue. His hand on the ground is off, dismembered, still holding the scepter here, and but you notice that the blood has kind of dried up, and the torn on the ground, the sweat has stopped.
All right. Can I try to kick the staff out of his hands?
You'd have to really peel it.
Well, I
out
want to
of his hands.
put one foot on like the wrist part, and then like peel his
Fingers
off
off.
my foot.
Okay, yeah. Well, don't peel off the fingers. You're gonna have to use your hand or a blade. Or
I'll use a
something.
blade. His hand's already gone.
All right.
Mutilating that hand. This is gonna be a club when he gets it back.
He can get a claw.
Des, I'm gonna put that in a bag if that's all right.
That's fine.
I'll
I figured
make
he
it
just-
that.
I figured we just find a claw in another
You
creature.
put his hand in the bag, or
No, not his hand. I don't care about that.
The scepter.
the
I'll
scepter?
mage hand the scepter. It's
Okay, mage hand the scepter and put it in the bag of holding.
That's right.
All right. got it.
Does Jock fly down and grab Darth's hand?
We're getting a
No.
claw for him, man.
Yeah, I'm going to literally take everything off my body that I have.
Okay.
And get like everything.
All right.
But I'm like super tired right now. I'm like,
So does he disrobe as part of this? Does he look like his normal self underneath everything?
Yeah, it just looks like almost half naked torn.
I did not sign up for this.
L is absolutely enthralled by this concept. And it's going to
yeah, I had to fight
very
an
uncomfortably study both specimens.
Wait, I said I had to fight an octopus queen, and I had to fight a wolf spider, basically. So it was fun.
Give me a healing check there, L.
Alright, that is a 26.
Perfect. You see torn, ground torn, the one that's laying dead or whatever. His body seems to be petrifying up. Oh, and just so you guys know, that secret door closes. Closes up.
shit.
While they're changing clothes and examining, I'll check the rest of the room for anything.
All right.
Oh yeah, I quickly get off my stuff off my body. Then.
Walk away from what I'm seeing. And I help Erebus.
Alright, thank you.
I asked for an adult. I need an adult. Okay.
Mom, I didn't sign up for this.
All right. So yeah. So
God saved us.
in a sense, you don't find anything of value in here. No secret doors. You know you can once again on this side pull down the secret door. It's not like in the sense barring you out. It's just on some sort of quick timer of opening and closing. You think probably about 30 seconds as you watched.
Okay.
When you're watching it.
And nothing on the chair, the throne or anything?
No. Nothing's on the throne. Now he stepped up and now he's down, taking stuff off of the ground torn and putting it on him.
Okay. So the body seems to be petrifying on the ground.
Yeah.
I'll take all my stuff.
Yeah, by the time he strips them all down, he is petrified.
Okay. And the separated hand, does that petrify as well?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's powerful magic.
Yeah.
At least.
Wait, is my body still hurting?
Huh?
Is my
No. You're like.
full healed?
You're a brand new guy, man. Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Do I get up, am I tired at all from...
From the battle?
Hmm?
I mean, you're a little bit, but
Did I lose
in
my
a
stuff?
sense, you're not wounded.
Did I lose my stuff?
Yeah.
Basically, I lost all my stuff, but...
My stuff.
I mean, I lost a lot of energy in that fight.
Yeah.
Is his lower half? Is taking us his lower half?
You've been checking him out there. Sadly.
I'm so glad I was not drinking something at that point in time.
So, alright. Who's that?
How could it
Huh?
have done this?
No. Okay.
Alright, I'll move to the trapdoor, re-trigger it from the inside, and move back into that 15-foot room.
Okay. No problem.
So we still have no obvious explanation for the hole in the floor.
No. Mm-mm.
Just a unique character.
Could be a spike trap.
I've already searched closely. There's no trap involved here at all.
That's your character.
No, I changed myself.
Curious.
Alright, so let me check the other side of that hallway.
Okay. Sure. He goes down to the end of the hallway. If you want to move the group out of the room, you can.
That's a 20.
So there's no traps or any secret doors, nothing that you're perceiving. So the hallway continues up east, probably about 40 feet, and then it turns off to the north.
Alright, so I'll circle back to that room and I'll point up and look at Zaz and Al. You want to open that?
Wasn't there two
I think
doors
we have our,
opposite sides?
you're
of
a
each
fresh
other?
body, so
Here,
we
here's-
should.
There were the two secret doors. Yeah, you went in one, came out the other. They're both in that same room.
Oh, okay.
Well, our buddy's safe still, so I feel like he should still be up for the task.
You want me to open the ceiling there?
Yeah. Well, not you, preferably. Well,
Okay. Soren, you want to climb up there?
Wait,
and
can I
open it?
mention something when I woke up? Like
Huh?
what happened? Can I tell something that happened when I woke up
You
in the
said
new body?
Tor, not
Yeah.
Thor.
So as I came through the new body, a blue spirit went in front of me, then disappeared almost instantly. Kind of like her dark wings.
why they gotta be dark, man?
You
It's
know
all a
they're
matter of
skeleton.
perspective.
They're skeleton.
It's all a matter of perspective, man.
Torn, you gonna climb and open the hatch?
Sure.
So now you're a caster.
Dude, that's a
my
torch.
main thing.
What do you do with this body?
Yeah, this is my new character.
Dar had a question. Did you
Do
hear
you
that?
have a new name with the new body?
Put
Yeah,
it on
Morgan.
the- put it back on the throne.
My name changed to Borden.
All right, so you put the thorn, petrified thorn on the throne.
Petrified thorn.
Not torn. Sorry. Sorry.
No,
Thorn.
Borden.
Thorn on the throne.
Maybe turn to Borden.
Jeez, dude.
Where's that?
Right above you.
And we'll leave a small roll of toilet paper right next to him.
Yeah.
It's an air
Okay, I basically jump. Wait, can I pull it down?
You can't jump. You're gonna have to climb. It's 15 feet up.
Okay, I'll climb.
All right, so you climb up.
Athletics.
I don't believe you're gonna have to make a climb check here. But
Okay.
let me just make sure. All right.
I got
No.
upper body strength.
No, you don't have to climb. I mean, you climb, but you don't need to make a check.
Okay.
You use
You
there's.
realize when this spell ends, he's going to end up back in that body sitting on the altar with no hand.
That's why I left him some toilet paper.
Yeah, he'll probably bleed out.
All right, so you're up there. You open it up.
Yep.
All right. So
From
I
the
need
side.
you to make a strength check here.
Is it 15? I mean, 13?
Yeah, so that's good enough. All right, so you open it, and as soon as you open it, wind
Okay,
Just
I'm
pushes
on the side.
you
I said I
down.
was on the side.
And
Doesn't
you
matter.
forget everything.
it pushes you down to the ground, and you hit the ground. And I need first you're gonna take this.
Goes.
Gotta work in a new body somehow.
I need to get the barbarian.
All right, so you take 10 points of damage
10 points.
as you hit the ground hard.
Yeah, I need my barbarians.
So there's this wind, and you're on the ground, laying on the ground right now.
Is it only one burst of wind or just tons of wind?
There's just tons of wind,
And
just
it's keep
blowing
on
you down onto the ground right now.
So basically, it's trapping me.
Well, what do you do? So you guys see him fall off, basically being pushed down. You just hear this, just this constant wind blow.
Okay, I try and pull myself towards this side of the group.
Hey, Will,
Yes.
Dar wants to go over there and see if he can feel this wind.
All right, I need you to go ahead and make a
You're in my way.
Dex saving throw here.
A dex saving throw?
Yep.
14.
All right, so yeah, you're fine. You seem to kind of get when you're walking towards it. Yeah, you feel the wind trying to blow you back, backwards, or maybe even forward. But you manage to stay straight up as you walk towards him. Dude, you're supposed to be laying on the ground.
Oh, sorry. I was eating candy.
You alright, old man?
I'm gonna try and crawl towards the door.
All right, so I need you to now go ahead and. Sorry. All right, I need you to go ahead and make another Dex saving throw here.
Another one.
Well, yeah, that's right. You didn't get the first one. Now you do.
Oh, 4 total.
A 4 total. All right, so that's funny.
If you fail by 10 or more.
All right, so you take 3 points of damage as it starts blowing you around on the floor, and
Is he like
it goes. You go rolling towards Dar. Dar, I need you to make a Dex saving throw to get out of the way.
Out of the way, I want to try and grab him and keep him from floating all over the place.
No, that's not going to happen yet. You don't have that opportunity. Yeah.
Like this, but I can't see it yet until I put the glass on, but I don't think it's very good. Oh, I take that back. That's 18, sorry.
All right, so perfect.
He jumps over.
So you actually move to the side, as you roll past Dar, just 5 feet past Dar.
It's a leaf named so torn.
And Dar, you're fine. You take another 5 points of damage as you bounce up against the walls. However, Dar, you take 2 points of damage as he hits you in the legs. Just really, his big frame hits you, and you still end up taking 2 points of damage in the legs.
Does this look like a conscious wind? Like it might be like some kind of an air elemental type creature because of like an insects or anything like that?
Make an intelligence, knowledge nature, sorry, nature check.
That's gonna be 11.
Alright, you're not sure. But yeah, it's really windy where you're at here.
Alright. I'm gonna try to launch myself at him and grab a hold of it, see if I can grab a hold of Torn and kind of hold him, and maybe the weight of the two of us is enough to keep us from. So I'm gonna try to, I don't know if that's grappling or what, but I'm gonna try to get him and pin him down kind of deal.
Okay.
So he doesn't pull around anymore.
Go ahead.
Try and pin melee.
It looks like he's in the hallway. Is that not accurate?
Yeah, he's in the hallway.
Okay.
Alright, so what are we gonna do? Is that an attack roll? Or
Yeah, it's an attack roll here.
Oh no, he made it my 18.
Gonna have to cut off his feet this time.
Watch, he misses and kicks Torn in the head.
That would be an unarmed strike, right?
Yep.
Unarmed is plus 6, that's 21.
Alright, so yeah, so you jump on, grab him. You think you're highly confident he's not going to blow away further. Zazriel, what are you doing?
I'm just staying there.
Staying there. And Erebus, what are you doing?
Get out of here.
So does it seem like the wind is following Torn?
Yes. Like, it seems like the wind is starting to come further down the hallway. Like, now you're starting to feel, like, the wind pushing up against you, you know?
Okay. So I guess I have a similar question at Dardo. I think this is a creature.
Go ahead and make a knowledge nature check.
Nature? Okay.
This is where we need to.
15.
Yeah, you don't think it's a creature. You think there's just some sort of big, huge, whatever that thing that opened, whatever you open, they opened up. It must be some sort of wind trap or something, and you think that your best bet is probably getting around the hallway. You think just because of what you saw with the sides of the walls here, you think the wind this is going to be like a wind tunnel here.
Gotcha. All right. I'll say let's leave, and I'm gonna move back and around the corner.
All right. So you go past Azrael.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Go ahead and move in. All right. With that, I'm gonna go to Kit. Kit, you hear that? You hear Erebus kind of yell, which is not normal, but he's got to yell through the wind. Let's leave. What do? You start feeling this wind at your face, like it's starting to get stronger. You didn't feel it a second ago as you watched Torn fall from the ground and then get flung down the hallway. But you start feeling the wind towards you.
Laughing at Torn.
All right.
And big, toothy dragon smile at the wind. Because I haven't felt wind in forever.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Do you do anything
Then I
else?
follow Erebus.
All right, so you're gonna make the run across here. Okay. So now give me a dex check as you run across this wind tunnel here.
19.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and move her 30 feet. And then do you want to do a dash as well? Just go past all this wind. Just boogie.
Sure.
All right, go ahead and move it around past you. All right. Let's go with our next person, Thorn. You are up.
I'm doing my dash to get away from the wind.
All right. So go ahead and give me a dex saving throw as you run past the wind tunnel here.
That's one of my good saves. 19.
All right. Perfect. Go ahead and move Thorn past.
So 5 to. Oh, you can make it here.
All right. So that's fine. All right. And then L, you are up.
Alright, she'll follow suit.
All right. Go ahead and give me a dex saving throw.
This little weird wind tunnel part. Not as good as Torn. Not much. Yeah, that is only a 13.
13 is just good enough to make it, buddy. So
nice.
you make it past. Just luckily, you just almost get caught by the wind, but you manage to fight through it.
So you get stuck right
And
behind you.
you guys will make it past the wind tunnel here.
Nice.
Is there any chance to make it like through the tunnel?
What was with Jimmy back there? Jimmy Buffett.
All right. So
The crowd is silent.
Erebus.
I just did 1 with 4 psychic damage myself.
All right. So Erebus, you go. You know, the rest of you guys, you get back in your little order or whatever. You kind of go down this hallway around a bend here, and before you is a foyer, 10 feet wide, 20 feet long. A narrow hall connects with the area on the south side. And on the north end is a 5-foot staircase that leads up. A wheel is horizontally half into the wall in the southwest corner. And the wheel appears to crank the wheel appears to be a crank. Above the wheel, a bronze lever is set in the wall, angled downward. So I'll give you the room here and show you.
Thanks, Mike Schley.
Oh, we're gonna go there.
Thanks, Mike Schley.
His name was Plug.
Graceful plug.
That too.
So
Alright, so there's a wheel and a lever.
yeah, so there's this wheel and a lever here, and then like I said, there's stairs. The stairs lead up. You see the stairs kind of leading upwards.
I feel like I see a portcullis there.
Yes, you do.
Okay, did I make my perception check?
Yeah.
What?
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
Oh, there's 3. It looks like there's 3 spikes before you go through the doorway.
Yeah, you'll see that in the ceiling. If you look, you'll see that in the ceiling. Actually, yeah, it's not hidden.
It's not well concealed.
No.
Alright, no bonus points for you, Mike. Alright, so go back to the wheel and the lever, and I will first let Erebus's brain go after this instead of mine. So I'll see if Erebus knows what these do or any idea what to do there. So that's a 19 on perception.
Okay, so 19 on perception. You don't think it's trapped in any way. However, you definitely think that both of these things are mechanical for something. Whether it's raising the portcullis or something else that might be beyond on the stairways going up. The portcullis is up right now.
It's up right now, okay.
Yeah.
And so then I'll go back to the portcullis. Do I think there's another trigger for it? Or just the one? just one of those two things?
You probably think it's just one of these two things.
Okay, so it seems like it's safe to go up at this
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Looking at the stairs, you don't think at least going up this first bend of stairs here is trapped.
point. Okay. All right. Well, let me go back to the lever and the wheel and examine the wheel. Are there any markings on it, or words, or anything like that?
No. No.
Okay. And any indication it's been moved recently, or not possible to tell?
Yeah, it looks like it hasn't been touched in ages. Once again, yeah.
All right. Well, I think I need a canary. Torn.
What?
Yeah, he's okay. We don't need the miniatures necessarily, guys.
All right,
Okay.
Torn. Do you see the portcullis? The bars in the ceiling?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So I think it's safe to go through the door there. You want to check the stairs?
Sure.
Okay, so you go up the stairs, and it leads to a basically like a dead end going up the stairs.
Oh my gosh, you have to come up here. There's something we need to see.
So you're trying to bluff me.
I'll roll charisma.
Roll your deception. I will roll
Yeah, go
my
ahead and roll deception.
insight.
Natural 20.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Oh!
All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna say, yeah, you know, yeah,
But it was close. It was like, oh, it's almost believable.
it's torn, and you're like, well, that's a pretty good lie, but I know he's lying.
You both rolled natural 20s, just.
So, Torn, what is it, Torn?
It's just a dead end.
Alright, come back down here.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll move him to where the lever is and say, alright, operate these two things if something bad happens to me. So I'll go back up to the top where he was and look for a secret door.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and give me a roll.
Alright, oh, not so good. 15.
All right, so 15, that's good enough. Yeah, you do find a secret door. However, you think it's going to take probably rotating the wheel to open the secret door.
No lever, though?
Nope, the lever you don't think does this part.
Alright, Torn, switch spots again.
Okay.
Alright, so make noise if something bad happens.
Okay.
Alright, so I'll move the lever up.
Basically, it's kind of like a little bell, something happens.
Okay, so you rotate the wheel, and as you rotate the wheel up above, yeah, you might even hear this like stone moving, like the door is opening, and also the portcullis is coming down at the same time. So the portcullis comes down, the secret door opens.
Well,
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so for you up there, there's a 10-foot square pit. At the bottom, which can be seen as a pale shimmer of bones. There is a 1-foot wide ledge along the west edge of the pit for someone to stand on. They can
right
do
before
this.
they die.
Wait, how
There
come
is
you
also
didn't-
there's also a 6-inch wide footbridge, polished marble, spans the center of the pit from west to east.
Wait.
Crossing the beam, you're probably gonna have to make some sort of acrobatics check.
Quick question.
There's a door on the opposite side.
How deep is
You can see a little keyhole.
Okay, how deep is the pit?
10-foot pit. 10 foot.
Is there anything in the pit besides bones?
Nothing that you can see other than the
Perception?
bones. Go ahead.
Cause this is where I actually yell like, there's a pit and a small ledge. Come up here.
Okay.
Natural
Message.
20.
Alright, so you are highly confident there's nothing down there but old bones.
Okay, that's kind of a relief.
But I'm going to give you this too. Remember the key that because you got the natural 20, the key you got from under the crayfish? You think that's what unlocks this door across.
We need the
This
crayfish
pit.
key. We need the crayfish key.
Oh wait, no, I gave that to Aramis.
I'll message him. Yeah, I have it. So is the port close halfway down, or did it go all the way down?
It goes all the way down.
Okay. And so there didn't seem to be a way to stop them, like half open each.
No.
Okay. And how easy was it to manipulate the wheel?
Yeah, it's pretty easy actually, believe it or not, even though it hasn't been used. You think, I mean, you have to have some strength. Once again, your mage hand isn't going to cut the mustard, but
That's what I was going for.
yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, it's not too hard to crank.
Okay. Alright. And the lever, still no sense what the lever does?
No. Mm-mm.
Alright, I'll say, I'll do message to Torn, be ready, and then I'll move the lever.
Oh,
Okay.
what happens?
So if you move the lever, yep, the portcullis goes up, the secret door closes.
Behind me?
Did you step in onto the walkway?
Oh, like the small ledge?
Yes.
Then no.
Okay, then no.
Okay, the door closed.
And so I move the lever back the other direction. Does it flip again?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so I'll manipulate the wheel again. Do they just seem to be the two on-off switches?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So you do the wheel. He'll yell, the secret door opens, portcullis goes down.
Okay. Alright. Okay. And do I think the lever can be done with the mage hand?
Yeah, I would say the lever can.
Alright. Alright, let's get everyone in, I guess.
Wait.
Alright.
Oh, I think I know what happened. Oh, I see the trick to this. I think a bigger ledge is gonna pop out, so we're inside the walkway, and then the lever's pulled.
Alright, so everybody gets, I guess, along the stairs. Is that what we're doing here?
I guess so. I will examine the stairs closely. There's no chance these are gonna flatten out, right? My knowledge.
Go ahead and give me another perception check.
Yeah, I'm waiting for those the whole time. 27.
Okay, yeah, these haven't been used in a long time. You don't think, that they flatten to like make a ramp and roll you back down or something like that.
Alright, before I load the entire party into the kill shoot.
Don't do it.
Alright, I mean whoever wants to go in there, so this is a one way thing, we're leaving.
I'll go first.
Alright, so you have the key?
One ticket to paradise.
Whoever goes first is going to need the key to open up.
No,
this
we all need
door.
to be in the stairway. I guess if you're not
Yes.
moving figures, that's fine, but
Yes, I'm not moving figures.
okay.
Unless somebody disagrees that they're not going to go on the stairway, let me know now.
I'm going the hell out of that stairway. I'm doing it.
And then, so when I get up to the top, I'll say, switch places here, Torn. Let me look what's going on.
Okay.
And then I want to examine both the bridge and the ledge.
The one thing is, hold on, one thing. One person has to be on this side when they're doing the crank thing. Somebody has to be on this side.
Is it a crank or is it just a lever?
There's a crank and a lever. But somebody has to be on this side of the crank to open up the secret door, and the portcullis is down.
So basically, it has to keep on moving.
So one person is.
Do I think that I am strong enough to do that?
Yeah.
No.
So just so I'm clear, opens the door at the top, right?
It opens the door at the top and closes the portcullis at the same
Do we
time.
think that there's a way that we can tie a rope on it, like a spinning wheel, like if you were going to pull, like pull starting a lawnmower kind of deal, where you wrap it around, you yank it? Is there a way we can do that so we can pull it through the portcullis?
No, it goes into the wall basically as you push it down.
So either Kit's gonna need to transform to get through the bars, or L, you're gonna blink or something.
Oh, yeah, because I can turn into a
I can turn into a snake.
There you go. That'd be perfect.
I have a wild cat.
It's also dark, so I think we never resolved how you would be seeing it. So.
Yeah, do you light up a torch, Kit?
Yeah, I've been having a torch.
Alright. No
I
problem.
don't have any of my spells.
That is correct.
I just sit on my laptop.
That's a great idea with her shapeshift.
Kit, can you get through those bars?
If I transform to a snake,
Yeah.
or maybe.
Yeah, if you turned into a snake, yeah, you could slip through the bars. That would do it.
Okay, so we'll all move in. We'll have Kit pull. I'll show her where the wheel is.
Okay.
She can do the wheel, pull down the portcullis,
Okay.
follow us,
And then, yeah, and she'll be in snake form.
which might be useful at the top too.
Yep.
So go into snake form to go through the bars, yeah.
And then she could coil around the leg.
Alright, so that won't be a problem. So you guys work through that. And then,
I eat the tongue.
so who is gonna be the first volunteer to go across
Well,
said
I'm gonna check
pit?
them first. I want to look at the left side or whatever the ridge was on the bridge.
Okay.
Off my laptop.
Yeah, so it's just a ledge along the side, and there's this polished bridge, marble
Right.
bridge across.
Do I think either of them is going to give out? Is there any sort of trip mechanism on either one? Has anyone used either of them? Any footprints?
Nope, they don't have footprints. Go ahead and once again make a
Perception.
perception check.
Here's a rope, by the way.
Oh, that's so great. 16.
All right, it's good enough. You think that the beam is probably safer than trying to walk around the ledge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And it just looks like a 10-foot pit, like nothing else?
Yeah, this looks like a 10-foot
And I
pit.
got a natural 20.
Here's a rope.
Right.
I'm gonna mage hand down and grab a bone or two and bring it up.
Okay, they're probably, once you bring one on up, it kind of even, yeah, you'll bring one on up, no problem. They're old, crumbly bones.
Okay. All right. Well, that's that. All right. I'll have someone tie a rope around me, Torn.
Okay.
You want me to go, Torn? You don't want to go, right?
I want to go.
No.
You want to go? Are you dexterous?
I'm acrobatic. But
You're acrobatic. You are.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can tie yourself to Darla and go across. Here's the key.
Okay.
Make sure to check for traps on the other side.
Sure.
You want me to go first?
Torn, checking for traps. That's not gonna end well.
He always finds the traps. I don't know what you guys talking about.
He always triggers it.
What are you rolling for, buddy?
I'll have to go across.
Cross?
Finds
Okay,
it,
yeah. So
Yeah,
acrobatics.
acrobatic. 19 on the dice, so 23 total. 23
All right,
total.
so yep, you go across, no problem. Take the key, open the door. The door opens, slides open.
Fire.
It leads into about a 20-foot chamber, and on the other side you can see like just a shimmer of light coming through a bunch of rubble and dirt. Like you would have to climb through probably, you think about 30, 40 feet through rubble to the outside.
Guys, it's all lit, man.
Can he
We
run
can get
for
out.
You try to go running through out.
Torn, I'll message Torn.
Alright.
Come back.
Do you come back or go?
He's got a rope too.
Yeah, he does have a road side too.
Oh yeah, so I stopped.
Alright, you stop. Alright.
Come establish a rope bridge so others can walk across safely.
Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna have everybody just roll once at advantage. Coming across. Let me know anybody that rolls that gets below on advantage below a 10. 10 or below.
Come across last.
Doesn't matter. Just everybody roll the dice. And
Natural 20.
I got a 27.
does anybody, all I said, does anybody not roll above a 10 on both sides?
Yes. Good.
Dar, what did you roll?
I rolled a 3 and a 4.
Alright.
Jesus.
Alright. So Dar falls in the pit.
Last one
As a
across.
reaction, I cast I do free falling.
Actually, no, I'm holding it. Remember?
It's a reaction spell.
I'm attached with Dar on the brick.
Dar's still gonna fall in the pit.
No, I can.
Dar falls in the pit, people. I gave you guys advantage.
But at least actually, if he casts Featherfall, I float to the ground up again.
He's not gonna have time for this. You're gonna take 13 points. Guys, I gave you advantage.
Are there spikes or something down here?
I know, it's 10-foot pit.
And it's bones.
I'm max damage. Your total minus 13.
Now pull
Well,
him up.
but
You were
I was
minus
-5
7.
before, so that means I get
No,
-6.
you were minus 7 before. And 6 would put you at 13.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now pull him up.
Yeah, you can pull them up. Alright.
No problem. Just.
Alright, so you guys are all in this small 20-foot room here.
It's the way out.
And yep, there's light, but you gotta crawl through this rubble here to get out.
We did.
easier for me.
We did this.
Yes, Kit, you didn't even need to make the roll, I'm sorry. Yeah, you could slither up outside, no problem.
Kit, do you want to? I don't know if she can understand. Can you go check to see if it's safe?
Yeah, she can understand, she just can't speak.
I just back like, okay.
Yeah, what's
I
up?
just slither.
Just say something there, Thorn, don't put a finger up.
Sorry, it's a game of who can yell loudest gets to go first here. So, reaction spells preempt somebody else's turn here.
Yeah, but we're not in combat. So I'm just not allowing it, buddy. If we were in a combat situation, then I'd be like, yes.
Understood.
I have a purring cat behind me.
But that would be a nice spell, right, Bill?
What? Yes. That would be normally how you use the spell, absolutely. But we're not in combat, so it's just saying no. I give you advantage.
I know, and I rolled shitty.
Exactly. You deserve damage. That's
What? Deserve, all because of the dice.
that is correct.
The band of the dice was not with you.
Kit, make it to the top
I
or
am
the
the
back?
best.
Yes, Kit, you can slither on up to the top. You are outside. You appear at what seems to be like a large temple of some sort. Once a major building, all that remains are the back wall and enough of the roof to shelter this altar. All else seems closed off by this debris here. Several pillars have fallen and they litter the floor. The sunlight filters through some of the holes here in this 35-foot overhead kind of ceiling that you're in. There's just a maze of chips and cracks along the ceilings and the walls. The brick wall is covered with a lot of just probably, it looks like almost like a picture of this giant bat thing, probably 9 feet tall with a wingspan of 20 feet. And
my Mothra?
yeah. In front of of this wall is an altar stone carved to represent a mass of squirming rats, weasels, and worms. On the front of the altar is the head of a screaming bat. Jutted above the altar on the other side of a pair of sharp-edged metal bat wings, 8 feet long. The floor in front of the altar is worn smooth. So this is what you see, Kit.
Can I find an ancient Batman?
Possibly.
No,
That's what you see, that altar.
Ancient
Up there.
vampire, sure.
As you come up above.
If Batman were a vampire.
Yeah, it is.
But true. Wait, no, I have a question. If
Yes.
one of the messages and it's in my head, couldn't I respond back and comment?
It's not in your head, unfortunately.
It's not in your head. Yeah.
Yeah, it's whispered for real.
Yeah. It's a whisper.
So you whisper his threat.
Yeah, exactly. You can still hear me whisper, but this isn't going in.
Yeah.
I suppose you could hiss back, but I wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't mean anything. All
One
right.
hiss for yes, 2 hisses for
I want to hook to them.
We can establish that later, but right now we don't.
no. Yeah. Should be common
Sorry,
sense.
do we wait a little bit, see if she returns?
All
I go
right.
back, like,
Okay, so you see that and you slither back down. Yeah, so you'll see her slithering back down.
Slithers.
I say nod for good, shake for no.
I hiss once for good.
All right, so she hisses.
I'll take it.
All right.
Alright.
I start climbing.
Look to Dar, can we get through this?
Look at it. You see, take a look at the rocks and see if the rubble and everything, and see if there's any way to find a path or if there's a way to clear it without it all coming down on top of us.
Go ahead and make a roll.
Is that the altar bell right there?
Yep. Mhm.
Awesome.
As I said, Batman.
That's some classic art there.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's in 20.
Okay. You are highly confident that you're going to have to climb through, and it's not necessarily safe at all. And somebody could possibly even get smothered in this stuff. But you're going to have to probably do it at individual, one at a time or in a group behind one another.
Do I think a rope would help tied around somebody with somebody at the top? The first person can get up there with a rope?
No. You're thinking really it's in the sense the rocks, the rubble is so loose. Other than like something like Kit being in snake form or something where you can go up. But anybody else going through is more than likely going to take some sort of just the rocks coming down on them, and how well they can move through it might take not as much. But you also think that they could get covered and suffocate or get trampled under the rocks, kind of like how Al came through in the first place, if you remember that.
I'll tell Lee to Jot to get free first before we mess it up.
Okay, so Jot, he can actually go up without a problem and say, "I'll see you later, suckers."
Go and be up there and stay there.
Yeah, so
I hiss once for okay.
all right, so you go up there following Jot.
I follow John.
All right, so Jot and Kid are up. All right.
Let's start with the smallest among us. Maybe it'll disrupt things least.
Yeah, that's definitely, you think that too, Dar.
Or the lightest.
The lightest and smallest are probably
Yeah,
the
it'll be
best to
shortest,
go
overall
first.
smallest. So I don't know if that's you, Al.
Probably Zaz.
Or Thorn.
Don't talk about my wind.
You have no
I suppose Thorny ain't exactly what you call a big guy. No.
No.
Like 130 pounds.
All we know for sure is that Dar and Torn can fight for last place.
Yes, I'm 105 pounds. If anybody was asking and anybody wanted to know.
Okay, so I can just lift you up and I'll pick you up.
Zaz, go out first.
One hand.
Alright, so Zaz, you go up first.
Okay.
Alright. So you can give me a dex.
Chabella, help her.
You can help Tribella? Well, this is a dex this is a saving throw.
Yep, she's like, these
That's
guys
fine. 17.
go safely, and she'll give guidance. It's resistance.
Okay, perfect.
How do you weigh less than I do, Josh?
A half elf, tiny.
Alright, so you managed to get up there, climb through, dirty, but you managed not to take any damage at all.
Okay.
Alright, who's next? Good job, Cody.
Who's next?
Elle's gonna try climbing up.
Alright, go ahead and give me a dex saving throw, Al.
Bless yourself.
Could stay out here. Protect me from crushing awful amounts of rock. And, alright, well, needless to say, I'm going to use an advantage card.
Alright.
Coming out on them.
That was horseshit. Okay. Well, the second one's better.
Alright, what's your total?
Yep. Are you gonna roll it?
We are at an 11.
Oh, okay. Alright, so
What are we rolling? Dex or acrobatics?
dex saving throw.
Saving throw. That's with a 4 on the 4-sider. Helped me.
I
Alright.
was helping you if your muscles weren't.
Yup.
Alright, so you still manage to climb through. You do take 6 points of damage as you go through and the rocks hit you and stuff, but you manage to fight your way through. You don't get engulfed in them, but yeah, you have quite a, and you guys see this below, you know, these rocks, a couple big boulders hit Elle in the head, and, you know, Elle gets up, cut fingers, and, you know, wrists bleeding as she gets to the top of the entrance where Zazriel and Kit are, and right then, walking around one of the pillars where you guys are in, there's this giant hyena growling at you guys, and that's where we're going to stop tonight. So the three of you are up,
I need
and
to
everybody else is still down below.
I'm getting
There's
that.
Marvel's up there. You forget about Jot.
Oh, Jot too. Yes, I don't count Jot as a character. All right, so yes, 4 of you are up. The rest are below, and that's
I'm
where
gonna
we
come
will
I'm going up next.
stop for the evening.
I was gonna coil around Elle's wounds, but okay.
I need in the back row. Right in the back row.
No, I need a fight.
All
I
right,
need in the back cave.
so we will be back next Wednesday, 7:30 Central Time, to do the finale of the Hidden Shrine of Tamoachan. So the finale is next week, our last battle, and then next is White Plume Mountain. So please tune in next Wednesday. Hey, if you've made it this far to the end, please hit that follow button here on Twitch, or hit the subscribe button and the like button on YouTube when we post this out later tonight.
And remember, it's going to be geek and I beat him to it.
Pass it on. All right. Good night.
I'm so quick with that.